There's a thing called good faith and there's a thing called bad faith. Great philosophers over the course of history have talked about those things. What is good faith? Well, people don't realize this, but faith has to be couched in substance. It has to be couched in evidences. Good faith is couched in, there was a people that were called Jews, and they had a history, and they have genetics, and they have a land they came from, and they have writings, and they can be tested in all these different ways. To place your faith in the fact that there was once a Jewish people who had a Hebrew culture, they produced a book called the Tanakh, which is the Old Testament, and that actually has manuscript evidence. To say, I put some faith that that's real, that's good faith. I love good faith. Don't you love good faith? Well, you know what is really irritating is bad faith. Bad faith is when you lay your hopes and dreams and your ideas and your beliefs on something that has absolutely no substance at all in terms of evidence. None. That's called bad faith. God has never wanted us to have a relationship with him based on bad faith. If you have a pastor or a bishop or somebody pitching you things that are on bad faith, you have to decide, well, can these things be validated? Can they be tested? You know, if someone says, you know, there was an ancient people who lived in this country and they were all 3'2" and they wrote a book, but there's no archaeological, no linguistic, no manuscript evidence, no DNA evidence for those little 3'2" people, you might want to say, I'm going to really question that. To put my faith in it, I'm not going to try that. You really shouldn't put your faith in the testimony of men. What I say you shouldn't trust. I mean, I'm just making suppositions and I'm saying things that you might want to consider. You have to go and do the homework. Well, you know, and so God, he doesn't have us believe in a vacuum. Now, it's debated on what things are empirical evidences. For instance, my atheist friends, they'll say, the universe, the cosmos, the rotation of planets, animal life, babies being born, that does not have any evidence to me of a God, of a creator, right? So it does become subjective. I just happen to see and believe that there is an order and there is a creator and there is a higher power. As supported by the evidences I see, I interpret them that way, but it's not bad faith. It would be bad faith, in fact, to me, to say all of this exists without any creator, without anything behind it at all. To me, that is more bad faith than good faith. I see a designer in things. I see a designer in the DNA and the attitudes of my 3 daughters who are very different and yet very much the same. So when you talk about belief, make sure that you're talking about good faith versus bad faith. If someone says to you, look, Noah, he built an ark and it held every animal on the face of the earth, that's bad faith. You're not going to believe that. Doesn't make sense. You couldn't handle all the dung, first of all. You wouldn't have enough food for all the animals, second of all. And you wouldn't fit all of them on the ark, third of all. And then all the animals from Australia and all these other places not only couldn't get to the ark, they couldn't get back once it landed. That's bad faith. What's good faith relative to the Noah story? Hey, Noah built an ark. It was a geographical flood. The animals that lived in that basin came to him. Okay, I can buy that. There were a couple llamas, 2 camels, a couple swine. There were a couple this and that. The ark was big. They had enough food. They got rid of the dung. Okay, that starts to become reasonable. Reasonable, right? Someone in the audience is laughing at the word dung. Dung, right? Anyway, so just remember that when you're tested with things in the Christian faith, people will dogmatically demand that you must believe that God did this in 6 days and then it was 6 literal 24-hour periods. You must buy that. You cannot believe in organic evolution at all. Don't listen to that stuff. What's good, reasonable faith? God says in Isaiah, hey, come, let's reason together. He tells us to worship him with our hearts and our minds. He doesn't just say, I want you to believe in me in a vacuum. He doesn't do that. He gives us witnesses. He gives us evidence. And you have to decide if you're going to put your faith on those evidences or not. But when someone gives you a package that doesn't make any sense in terms of any kind of evidence, run out.